Hello everybody, this is another guide from Incon. Today we are going to be talking about the star of support herself, Athena, the #1 support right now, #1 pick, #1 ban, #1 everything. She is the queen of all, so let's go ahead and start talking about her build. Looking into the starter items here, we're looking at Mark of the Vanguard, right? Mark of the Vanguard is what you're looking on pretty much every support right now. I can't think of any exceptions. Just go that item. You're going to be very tanky. It's very strong. It's going to help you transition into this mid game where you become very squishy. For your first major item, you're going to be looking at typically Wing Blade on most of your supports right now. Previous times I've done reinforced shoes. You can still do that. I'm trying out with some new stuff. I'm liking this start here with Wing Blade, kind of reverting a little bit back. Wing Blade giving you health early, okay? This is very important. This 300 health early is crucial to your survival on support because you're hitting these very squishy periods of time on support. It's not like it used to be where you're a tank the whole game. So Vanguard at the start, helping you be tanky, right into a Wing Blade, which is helping you gain more health to be more tanky. After Wing Blade, you're looking to get one of your shoes. You're looking to either get Shoes of Focus or Reinforced Shoes. You can finish these completely, depending on the situation, or you can get Tier 1, which is going to give you 6% movement speed for 300 gold, and then you can start working on your core build and finish your boots later. That is optional. It's going to be dependent on the situation you feel in, okay? A lot of these support builds are situational now, but this is your general guideline. Of course, our core build, looking at Sovereignty, Heartwood, Magi's, this is pretty much core on every support. You're not going to be able to get towards Magi's usually, though, until the 30-35 minute mark, just because of the lack of gold that you're going to be having on support. And that's just the kind of the way it is right now. As far as damage items go, you're not going to really be getting any damage items. Any damage that you're doing is from your base damage skills and your aggressiveness you're going to be applying to the enemy. Defensive items, of course, always situational. This is usually towards the latter part of the game when you finish most of your core build and you're looking at things to help out your team. Typically, aura items like a Witchblade, which is going to slow down attacks of a heavy attack speed team, something of that nature. As far as your actives go, of course, you've got your Hog, and then you've got your situational actives, Shell of Absorption, Weakening Curse. I have Beach on here because Beach is just such a strong active, but typically you're going to be looking at an active for your team like a Shell or a Weakening Curse. As far as Athena's abilities go, she has a very strong kit. Her passive, probably more important in a jungle or a solo role for Athena, not necessarily as a support, but it does apply sometimes. Every time you use a skill, you're going to get your next auto attack will be a ranged attack doing extra damage based off your magical power. This does not stack up. If you use all your skills, you don't get 4. You just get 1 at a time. You can use it, then you can do another skill, you get another one, etc. Shield Wall, R3, which is also the skill we're going to be getting first. Basically, you lay down, bam, you do some damage. A couple seconds later, 2 seconds later, it does some more damage, more than the first proc. This is your main damaging skill. It does a lot of damage early in the game. And you're going to combine this skill with Confound, typically getting this skill at level 2 or 3, depending on the situation that you're in lane, okay? Shield Wall, you're almost always getting first. For the jungle clear and then the wave clear, and then Confound or Preemptive Strike going to be your second skill here. Your Taunt, one of the best skills in the game for support, if not the best skill in the game. Max rank, it is a 2-second taunt. By the time you get some cooldown in here, it's going to be a cooldown of about 13 seconds or so. You can use this all the time. It's a cone in front of you, and it pops beads like nobody's business, and if you don't have beads up, they're going to be dead. Preemptive Strike, another great skill. You dash forward. This also has a second passive with it, if you will. If you hit something with this skill, you're going to get 1 stack of block. You can get upwards of 3 stacks at a time, and that will block an auto attack from an enemy god. This is very strong passive towards the end of the game against an ADC. If you're getting popped on by a Shibalanke and 3 auto attacks don't crit you because they don't do any damage, that is insanely good. This skill also slows. A lot of people don't realize that this one does slow. And this, in combination with your shield wall Confound, is going to allow you to keep people inside of your shield wall for the 2 seconds that you need them there in order to get the damage off. Athena's ultimate, very unique. Her bread and butter, this allows her to rotate across the map, is that she ultimates onto a target, and as long as the target lives throughout the duration, she will teleport to that target. Now keep in mind, if the target dies while under this effect, you will not teleport to the target. You will jump up in the air and land right where you are, but you will do damage where you are. So if somebody's attacking you and the person you're on dies, you'll actually pop right on yourself and do damage right onto you. Has happened, can kill people with it, is interesting. But basically, the skill allows you to rotate around the map away from the Gold Fury while the Gold Fury is up, because you can always teleport back in with your ultimate. Now, as far as lane matchups go for Athena, there's not really any bad matchups. Normally, we talk about counters, right, for characters. Athena, not really any bad matchups. The worst matchup she seems to have is Sylvanas. Sylvanas has very strong lane clear. He can play relatively back. Even if Athena harasses with shield wall taunt, he heals it up. He's a pretty good lane. He can beat Athena in lane, but he has a harder time towards the end of the game in team fights keeping up with an Athena in terms of initiations. Having to use Blink to initiate, Athena can just 1, 2 to get her initiation off, so she can save her second active for something like a Weakening Curse or a Shell, where Sylvanas has to get Blink. That's where Athena will start to beat him in terms of that. As far as ADCs you want with you, you have two options. Either go a lane clear god, something like Rama right now, very strong in lane clear, or you go a heavy kill comp, something like Woojer Cupid, or Artemis, where you taunt somebody into your shield wall, they get their stun off inside your shield wall, which is going to then allow the second proc to get off early game, and then you combine that CC, and you're going to get a lot of damage off. Do that 2 times, and the enemy is going to be dead. So let's go ahead and get ourselves into this game. Getting into our game here, we have placed out one ward here at the start of the game to make sure we do not get invaded by a Ymir Zeus, a pretty strong combination to invade with. Using my shield wall here on the red buff, gonna do a good bit of damage and then go ahead and leave the rest of it to my team. This is going to allow me to get this purple buff started and get to the lane quicker. Getting to the lane first is extremely important for lane dominance. You see, I'm not using my shield wall here on this purple buff because I'm going to need it for the lane if I want any hope of getting a lane control over a Ymir. I'm going to have to put myself a lot in harm's way here in order to get the lane clear, but it will be worth it. Leveling up my taunt second here because there was an opportunity to get a lot of damage off. I take a lot of damage in return, but it's going to secure our lane control, which is going to be the most important here. Lane control is going to keep us to be able to go all the way to the mid Harpy and get those starting from right now. Ymir putting himself in a pretty bad position here. I'm going to be hitting level 3, and I've got more health than he does, which is going to mean that I can start to taunt him and put a lot of pressure on. He is now way out of position and has absolutely no way to get away. Wanting to give the kill to Rama, but a couple missed auto attacks will mean that I secure this for support, which a lot of people would be worried about, but early kill onto a support is very strong, going to allow me to get to my team-oriented abilities and items faster. This is going to mean that our team fight should be stronger than theirs at some point in the mid-game. This also means that Ymir is going to be very far behind this lane. At this point, a full level, essentially, which is going to be very helpful for early fights where the Ymir does not yet have his ultimate. This also means that I will be level 5 before the mid-harpy. Typically, you hit level 5 as the support as you hog the mid-harpies. If you fall behind like this, even if you get the mid-harpies, it won't hit him 5, and I'm going to be 5 before the mid-harpies. A big shift you see there on an early kill. Kiki grabbing a kill onto our middle lane, but not first blood, which is very nice. A first blood onto any middle can lead to a lot of problems. This is the wave that matters. Basically, this is the wave that you need to kill as a support and then rotate over towards the mid-harpy. You don't have to do it super fast like you used to in Season 1. You're going to see that I have plenty of time to rotate over here to this mid-harpy. So much time, in fact, that the Ymir is actually going to start to rotate over towards this mid-harpy as well and try to contest this. Unfortunately, he is still level 3, and he is not quite going to play this right, which is mean that I'm going to get this mid-harpy for free. Go shield wall, bada bing, bada boom. I grab this for free. He tries to throw down not the right skill. He should have been trying to freeze me to try to steal it from me, but that is not what he did. The other mid-harpies, though, getting taken by the mid laner. Zeus very good at securing mid-harpies. My team is waiting here, trying to look for a gank onto either the Zeus or the Ymir. Waiting for them to come up. I get an opportunity to go onto the Ymir. You see I'm going on Ymir instead of the Zeus. This is because Ymir is a very guaranteed kill in this situation. Going onto the Zeus, he has a getaway skill that gives him movement speed. The Ymir has no such thing, and he cannot get out of this whirlpool into the Kraken combination. No reason to go for the Zeus when there's a guaranteed kill. Also, just going to put the Ymir even farther behind than he already is, which should allow my Rama some reprieve over here in the ADC lane. Looking for an opportunity to kill this Chang'e. Ulti over onto the Loki, but a very good ultimate coming out from Aduro on Chang'e is going to save his life. Waiting for me to come in on my ultimate before he ultied to give a 2-second stun onto myself and also peel for himself. I'm looking to back now pretty soon, but I don't want to leave without grabbing some XP first. Always maximizing your XP on support by getting XP from waves, jungle camps, etc. You need to make sure you're getting as much as you can. Not quite enough gold here to finish up Wingblade, but I can get tier 2 done, which is going to give me 150 health as well as a bit of movement speed. And I can grab a ward here for my Rama. Not grabbing more than one because I want to get this Wingblade finish as fast as I can. Looking at their team composition, Artemis has a slow, Ymir has a slow, Zeus has a slow. That's a lot of slows already. I don't want to have to be stuck in their slows any more than I already will be. So Wingblade early will help me to minimize my deaths this game in order to not feed, basically. Ymir kind of out of position over here on the left lane, looking for an opportunity to kill him, but there's a wave here. We want to make sure we get this XP and as much gold from it as we can. Not 100% sure where their jungler is right now. Looking around the map, we see a Chang'e and we see 2 of them over here. We can look. We see the we can see the Hercules over in the mid lane, so we can look for aggression if we want to, but we don't necessarily have to. Mid Harpies are coming up decently soon, and that will be a good opportunity for us to fight as long as nothing crazy wrong happens. Dun dun dun. Am I foreshadowing? Maybe I am. My English teachers always told me to use foreshadowing. I was like, and then the student got an A in the course. And they're like, no. That's not how it works. I was like, no, I mean, I like this foreshadowing. We're doing these mid Harpies here. Zeus coming in, playing very aggressive. Should be a clear sign that something is wrong. There is a Hercules behind us. A very good stun from Hercules. A very good boulder. Artemis makes a very swift rotation into a ultimate trap, and I'm going to get absolutely destroyed here. Nothing I can do to get out of this. Very strong CC combination on their part, which is going to lead them to get a very early Gold Fury here at about the 7-minute mark. This will put us slightly behind, but I will maintain my lead over this Ymir, regardless of the situation. Now, normally, after you finish your first item, whether it be Wingblade or Boots, you're going to go into your tier 3 Hog. In this case, I do not have to go into my tier 3 Hog because the Gold Fury is down. Fire Giant is not a thing at this stage of the game. Ulting onto the Rama here, looking for a kill onto the Artemis. I know her ultimate is down, which means she has no way to get out of my taunt, which means we can secure a very easy kill here onto this Artemis. She was playing very aggressive when my ultimate was up. Rama making a very nice play, jumping into the Artemis to make sure we get the kill. Rama backed, which means I have no opportunity here to steal this purple buff with a roar here on this Hercules. So I have to go ahead and just clear the wave and pretend like nothing was happening. Can't do anything against a roar. I'm not going to hurt him. He's a Hercules. Even if I hurt him, he's just going to heal it up. So no reason for me to waste any mana that I don't even have onto him. Thought about contesting the purple buff, but the Ymir Hercules is just going to be too much for me to deal with. I've decided at this point that I'm going to go cooldown Boots here early into the game. That's going to allow me to have 25% cooldown reduction very early in the game, which is going to allow me to get more ultimates off for rotations, more taunts off for initiations, more dashes for initiation and getaway. At this point, I am free to ultimate over anywhere on the map right now if I wish. There is no Gold Fury restricting me. Putting a lot of pressure on this Artemis. She uses her boar to try and live. Rama coming in with the hot snipes, and he's going to go ahead. No, he can't hit it, but he finishes her off after he lands anyway. Ymir now into a bad position for himself, looking to put pressure onto him, slowing him with the 1, putting down the 3, then the 2 combo, which is going to lead to another nice kill onto this Ymir. Zeus attempting to get us into some trouble here, but Kiki is going to look for some skills, and he is not going to find them. Kiki needs to be careful as he is putting himself now in an interesting position with an Arachne. If an Arachne gets a slow onto him, he could be in a lot of trouble. Playing aggressively, trying not to get hit by the webs is going to be his downfall here as he gets rotated on from our mid laner and a very nice kill onto the Zeus, which is going to give me enough money from the assist to grab my Shoes of Focus, giving me 25% cooldown here now at sub 10 minutes into this game, and we now have a 1k gold lead even without the Gold Fury. At this point, looking to go around the map, looking for more kills, looking to keep up my XP advantage on this Ymir by getting jungle camps, by getting splitting waves with the mid laner, with the solo laner, with an ADC, doesn't matter who, just splitting as much as I can and looking for initiation opportunities or just opportunities to burn beads so my other lanes can get kills by themselves. On my way. I'm going to consciously make the choice here to ulti onto the Arachne. That's because the Rama was already dead. Like I said earlier, you cannot ultimate onto a target that is dead. It will put you in your own place. So this is going to allow us to pick up 2 kills for our 1 Rama there because of the decision to ultimate onto the Arachne. The rest of the team has rotated over. They are looking for some pickoffs onto us, and they really don't want to target me. They want to go for this Poseidon, but I'm going to go ahead and get a 3-man taunt onto their entire rotation, which is going to allow us to get a pickoff onto the Chang'e. Meanwhile, over in the solo lane, Loki is split pushing, getting a free tier 2 tower, going to give us 1,500 gold here at the 10-minute mark and a lot of lane pressure. I want to help out my Arachne as much as I can, but unfortunately I'm not going to be able to save him. But the aggression coming out from Kiki and Aurora here is going to be their downfall. Going to go ahead and get a taunt onto Kiki, putting him into the tower range and allowing Rama to go into the air and snipe himself a free kill. Overall, a positive exchange for us, getting the tier 2 tower and approximately equivalent kills. I get my tier 3 hog now because the Gold Fury is spawning relatively soon. And I ultimate back onto the Rama, looking for a kill onto the Hercules, making a misplay here. I should not have dashed at the base. If I wouldn't have dashed at the base, I would have had my dash up when I ultimated onto the Rama, which would have allowed me to close the distance onto Aurora and get a kill. A little bit of BM right there to preventing Aurora from backing, but also a little bit of strategy. I do not know the exact time in which the Gold Fury is spawning, which means that it might just buy us enough time to do the Gold Fury. The Gold Fury has spawned, but I do not have tier 3 hog, which means I am useless in this situation. But the Ymir is extremely out of position. He is slowed now by this Arachne, and because of how underleveled he is going to immediately fall. Rama on the Gold Fury, being extremely fed, has killed the Gold Fury without a tier 3 hog in a very quick manner, allowing us an even higher gold lead. A lot of damage being put onto Aurora here. We're going to keep this pressure onto him, landing a 3 into the taunt combination here, waiting for the boulder to run off so he would not be CC immune during that. But he's going to get away because he's Hercules. Trying to get close to my Poseidon to give him a shell, but he's going to go ahead and get to run away, no problem. Grabbing some XP on the way out. Like I said, you got to find XP on support when and where you can. Even if it's running away from a fight when you're in trouble, making sure you grab that experience because you're going to need it pretty badly. Now I can start to work into my core items here, Sovereignty being my item of choice that I want. You see that my ultimate is up all the time now because of this 25% cooldown reduction, giving me a ton of presence around the map. Any opportunity that I can get to look for an ultimate with a potential kill is where I'll be using it, especially now that the Gold Fury is down. I have no restrictions on where I move. doing the old looperino here. The Artemis thinks I'm rotating to the mid lane to help out the team, but actually I'm rotating onto him to help out my Rama. He has been bamboozled, and we will finish the kill onto him, grabbing another kill for myself, making me 4-1-8, giving me a 6th level advantage here over this Ymir. And now getting an opportunity to rotate towards this mid lane. We're going to see if I can help out them and get some kills off of this. Looking for an opportunity, I get a 2-man taunt. The Chang'e does get her ultimate off, and Aurora starts the chase. I can't quite kill him. He has speed buff, and he is healing from the Hercules' ridiculous nonsense skills, but he will not be able to get away. 2 Rama arrows later and a taunt, and that is a dead Hercules. Overall win for us once again in the rotation. 1 death of Poseidon for 3 of theirs. Once again, continuing towards my sovereignty, buying a ward for my Rama. He has a back and a Gold Fury ward. Just need to get him a deep ward if I can.
Your team has destroyed a left enemy tower.
Having the 2 solo lane towers down is giving us a lot of pressure around the map. The Loki's pretty much free to rotate anywhere he wants. And now we have a tower down in the left lane, going to give us even more presence around the map, taking away some safety here from the enemy team. They are 6,000 gold down and quite a bit of XP down, not necessarily on their crucial characters. Coming in for a taunt onto Kiki, just trying to see if I can burn some beads here, but I actually burned an ultimate instead, which is just as fine to me. No harm on my part. I just go in, I taunt, I back up, no harm, no foul, but Kiki's ultimate is now down for approximately a minute or so, which is going to mean that we can look for fights. Ulting onto the Artemis here, buying items in between the ultimate, you see. Very crucial on Athena to be able to use your ultimate and then buy items in between that time that you are channeling the ultimate. This is going to allow the maximum effectiveness for your ultimate when your team needs it, so you can back and then immediately ulti in. Looking for a taunt onto the Artemis and the Ymir instead of the Hercules, as they are much squishier targets. We have beads burned on Artemis here. We're going to try to finish our kill on Ymir as fast as we can, and we're going to go ahead and finish that kill off. Poseidon popping an ultimate, not necessarily on point, but that's okay. We are now very low. Kiki getting a lot of damage off with the 3. Hercules using his ultimate, and they're going to continue this fight. I'm going to get myself out of here. We have no Loki with us. My ultimate is coming up relatively soon, which means I can ultimate back in and look to re-engage. Before I go back, I am looking for these mid-harpies. One of those things where you're looking for XP anywhere you can. They could potentially be rotating here, but they're actually looking for our buffs. But I can immediately ultimate back in. Starting to ultimate, I know I'll heal back up by the time I get there. Also finishing up sovereignty and grabbing a ward in between the time that I took to ultimate. Picking up a kill onto Kiki, waiting for the majority of the Zeus ultimate to end. And the chase begins onto Aurora. He is a Hercules, but I am Athena. Who will come out victorious this day is the question. But Artemis's boar is back up, and that is going to stop me in my tracks for a moment. The Ymir has shown up, and I'm going to go ahead and safely take this purple buff. No pressure here. This is a free buff steal. They think they can steal our buffs. Well, joke's on you. We steal your buffs. Walking into a trap because obviously I wanted to help out the team and take that trap down. It has nothing to do with the fact that I'm an idiot and I cannot see traps to save my life. Our Loki putting a lot of pressure onto the mid lane is going to allow him to get it down very low. Checking to make sure the Ymir does not have blink, which means I have no pressure on this Gold Fury and I can freely grab it. One of those things where you have to keep in mind what actives the enemy has. Gonna go ahead and knock down this middle tower, taking a lot of damage in the process, but it's gonna give another 100 gold to each of my team members. And there is nothing necessarily on the map that I need to be at right this moment. And I, of course, have my ultimate to get back in if need be. Backing in the face of danger, I feel no fear. Gonna go ahead and grab my shell and a couple of wards, looking for an opportunity to ultimate back in. Sure enough, there's a fight breaking out. Looking for a taunt onto Zeus and Aurora, taking a lot of damage from these Zeus, but that's okay. I pop my shell, standing in the Zeus ultimate, trying to get kills off because of it. And we do get a kill onto Aurora, but this fight is also not bad in terms of the enemy opposition. Getting a 3-man taunt and having to dash away. My ultimate is down. I will not be able to ulti back in, but it does my team no good to stay and die. The exchange right now is most likely in their favor. A 2 for 2 is not necessarily what we're looking for. We take out their mid and their jungler in terms for our ADC and our mid. We do not want to be trading even right now. We want to be winning fights with the amount of lead that we have. Once again, an even exchange coming out here. Getting a taunt onto the Ymir, another case of an easy pick-off where there's no reason to not just kill him. Even if he's not worth anything at this point, bringing him farther behind in XP is always a benefit to us. He is now 7 levels behind in levels. Being Ymir, he can't really do anything. It's just kind of the downfall of Ymir is that he has a very hard time coming back when behind due to the fact that he has no getaway skill. He has to go all in when he goes all in, when he initiates. Looking for an opportunity here to steal a blue buff. I feel no real risk being here, and I'm going to go ahead and taunt and see if I can take this, and sure enough, I can take this blue buff. That's going to put a good bit of pressure onto the Chang'e, decently reliant on the blue buff. Not necessarily at 20 minutes into the game, but at any given point, it's going to help her with cooldown and mana consumption, stopping him from backing, trying to put anything he's trying to do, just delay it by 10 seconds. You never know, that might be a team fight. Fight breaking off in the left-hand side. You see, we're going to grab our items really quick in a sentry ward, look for our person to ult. That is Poseidon. We're going to look here for a kill onto Aurora. He finds himself extremely out of position, and we're going to find ourselves a relatively easy kill. We can get a kill on the Kiki if Arachne lands his spiders. Unfortunately, Soulshiner missing spiders. Not exactly what we were looking for, but that is alright. He did zone out Kiki, but missing the spiders, an unfortunate event. We should have a relatively free Fire Giant here. We have a lot of damage onto it. I can't honestly tell who's tanking it right now. I'm just running around. As it turns out, it is me who's tanking it. I did get knocked up one time because I could not see underneath the whirlpool. I could not tell the attacks. But now an initiation has started, getting a taunt onto Kiki. He has Zeus ulted, so I'm going to roundabout here, trying to get behind them. I have nothing left to offer while my skills are down, but I can cut them off from retreating. Artemis is going to fall right into my grasp, using that reach passive to secure the kill. Gonna go ahead and keep Kiki in combat as the Rama comes in to finish off that last kill. A 3-4-2 exchange right now, and the Fire Giant buff definitely worth for us as of this moment. Looking to put some pressure onto Aduro, but Aurora has shown up and I am extremely low on mana. If I can get away, I will be able to ultimate back onto the Loki or the Rama, depending on who is still in the fight at this point. The Loki using his stealth to try to get away, Aurora missing a stun, which is going to allow our Loki to get away. But we can reinitiate this fight in buying items as we're teleporting in, looking for a taunt, landing a 2-man taunt onto Aurora and Aduro. We're going to see another kill onto this poor Ymir, who just can't seem to get anything going for him. Loki dying to the tower, but Aurora coming up out of position extremely low, and while we both have the Fire Giant buff, this is not exactly what he wanted, and we're going to pick up another relatively free kill there onto Aurora. Looking to pressure this tower, we have Zeus and Artemis up, but I am very tanky right now. I'm very far ahead. I'm level 19, which is 2 levels ahead of their mid laner, and I am in no fear. Landing a 2-man taunt onto their group, we're going to look to force this fight with me and Rama, and this is going to be the undoing of Kiki, except for I missed my skill, I land my reach, but Rama, da-da-dun-da, da-da-dun-dun-dun, na-na-na-na, pew! And Rama picks up a very nice kill onto Kiki, so, fixing my mistake there with his ultimate. And there was no harm, no foul from me missing my skill as Rama fixes my issues. Free Gold Fury for us. They cannot contest this. This is just going to push our lead even farther ahead as we're moving in towards the later stages of this game. Now, you can see I am level 20. I am one of the first level 20s on my team, the ADC and Loki being level 20 as well. This game has been very strong in terms of farm. It's one of Athena's strongest points because she can back and ulti in so fast. It gives her a lot of opportunities to initiate and then back up and look for more XP or more kills, more assists, anything she wishes to, giving her a lot of leeway there to roam around the map and find XP because she's always where she needs to be. Saving my ultimate while I can. I don't necessarily want to use it if I don't have to push a lane, because I would rather initiate and then use it to get back into the fight post-initiation. This was a good choice as my team has decided to back off of the tier 2 anyway. I would have wasted my ultimate completely. Pushing up the lanes now, we have a little bit of time here left on the Fire Giant. We're going to be looking to initiate under a Phoenix or looking for a pickoff depending on the situation. I am extremely big right now. I am higher level than everybody on the opposing team, which means that my defenses are very high, my base health is very high. My gold is in fact very high. Having a lot of items right now, a lot of defenses, a lot of cooldown, pretty much a lot of everything with this build here. A very good hybrid build, if you will, for support. Our Fire Giant is running out of time. We really want to force this fight, if possible, before our Fire Giant runs out, but we have to look for an opportunity. We have to play this smart. There's a lot of people here middle that my whole team isn't really around, but I can possibly look to pop some beads. Getting a double taunt here off onto the Artemis. The Artemis is going to find herself in a very poor position and finds herself dead. The Zeus pops his ultimate, which means I immediately pop my shell. Even if it wasn't going to do that much damage, that is the only ultimate I'm concerned about right now, taking out my team, so playing that safe. Loki split pushing right. I'm looking to go in and taunt if they group up. Sure enough, they do. 3-man group up. I'm going to go ahead and taunt them all. We can't necessarily kill them, but we actually get a lot of damage off onto the Ymir. We're looking for a pickoff onto the Zeus before he can get away, and we do. My ultimate is still up, which means I can go ahead and back an ultimate back in like I never left the fight, selling my Vanguard to finish off my Magi's Blessing here for this last item. Then we can look to put pressure onto this Titan and try to put this game away. Looking for a taunt onto the Chang'e, trying to get a little bit greedy there for some kills, but she has a lot of DR upon herself, so we're not going to get anything there. Placing down my wards just in case our solo laner needs to port back in with his Loki with a teleport. But it seems that we're going to be able to put this one away regardless. Ajiro going to find his death here before the Titan falls. Hogging the Titan for the extra 480 damage. So does Arachne. And we're going to put this one away, guys. And we're going to go ahead into this win screen and see how we did. This is the exact reason why Athena is a top pick, top ban right now. Looking here at the damage, we have the second most damage on our team. We have the most damage taken on our team, and we have the most damage mitigated by far on our team. Finishing up with a score of 8-1 and 23. There's nothing really the enemy team can do about this. The Ymir gets taunted over and over and over again. He can't buy beats to get out of it. He has to get other actives, and that forces him to just die over and over again. A very difficult matchup for him. This is why Athena is so strong right now. Looking at our final build, we have Wingblade into finishing our cooldown moots, giving us a very early 25% cooldown reduction. Working our way into our aura defense items, Sovereignty and Heartwood. Finishing up with our Magi's Blessing to make sure we can secure all of the objectives that we need. Grabbing a shell for our team. They only had Chang'e for healing. Chang'e was not ahead enough to be doing enough healing, which means we can get the shell to stop a lot of the AoE damage from their Zeus, Ymir, Hercules, Chang'e. They have a lot of big AoE ults. Help take away some of that damage. Thanks guys for watching the video. I hope you learned something. If you have any requests for the next video, please leave them in the comments. And if you enjoyed this series, please subscribe to me on YouTube, and I promise to release more videos. Have a twitching day, y'all.